Exactly. It's supplies a lot of damage.
Yes, yeah. Bardock's one of the characters where usually you're like, okay, so like if I have 5 bars, I need to like do my super right and like set up which one of my characters can actually combo into level 3 afterwards to get next damage. Bardock's like, I'll spend it all.
Yeah.
How much I'll spend it.
Yeah, we're just going down.
I will cash out that character.
Yeah.
They're gone.
And it's a very interesting line, especially because with having Goku, who I feel like is a great in the pocket position, even with Vegeta. With how it's set up with Beam Assist and Vegeta Assist, putting a lot of eggs in your own basket for Bardock, just trying to get that main momentum started.
Yeah, I feel like Vegeta Goku is really like the best support team for a lot of characters in the game. Like you can pick literally any character in the game and put Vegeta Goku behind them, and it's like, yeah, this is great. I love this.
Oh, but getting that Dragon Rush, just a big change of pace, starting with the 2H Riser.
Not a ton of damage, but a ton of bar. You get like almost a half bar from just the Dragon Rush alone, let alone the rest of the combo.
Oh, just great supply, and Deku just laying it on with the Oki setup. Oh.
Yep. Got the Blue Goku, that instant transmission attack. It's pretty scary. Gotta look for the fingers on the forehead.
Yeah. So interesting with command grabs.
Yeah.
Very, very picky, especially with ends of block strings. A lot of people very hesitant towards that end, not going for things like fuzzy jumps just to avoid.
Yeah, I mean, because fuzzy jumping is pretty scary. There's so many different ways you can get blown up.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Like in general, people are like, there's so many things to look for on defense in this game. Because they could be using Kai shots that you can reflect or like super dash through. They could be trying to go for like instant overhead or super dash, which you have to 2H to get through. And like lots of other things. Like Trunks has like 500,000 different ways that you can try to steal his turn back afterwards. So like trying to pay attention to all that, and also for Goku to like stop for a second and then just put his hand on your chest.
It's very intimidating, and especially a lot of people not choosing the fuzzy jump just because everyone's already looking for up back in certain positions. That it's already really aware.
Yeah, and there are four frames of vulnerability whenever you're up backing. So
exactly.
It's not like the biggest window, but there is definitely a window where you can get clapped.
Yeah, pre-jump. A lot of people going for like run-up lights just to beat those 4 frames, but max range on that 21 combo.
21 damage. So pretty.
Much.
Look at all that red health.
DHC level 1, level 1.
Might just beat that.
Yeah.
Oh my god. That was like 85% health.
And we've been seeing a lot of players using bar instead of going into straight level 3 just because of how scaling works with individual DHC level 1s.
Yeah.
Just providing that more damage.
Yeah, 3 DHCs is almost always going to be more damage than 1 level 3. I think actually always going to be more damage than 1 level 3.
Yeah, and with the supply of blue health, very, very good.
Yep. Very important you end a character when you can.
Oh, I like that pressure, just immediately abusing the string into sparking.
Okay. Oh, nice command, man. That is actually one thing, like me and Rex were talking about a commentary earlier, that is one thing that regular Goku has over Goku Black. Goku Black has like a lot of fun zone-y tools, but he doesn't have aerial command, man. So if you're jumping back, he can't really like actively threaten you with too much. And that's Super Saiyan Goku definitely can.
And that's a lot of tools that we see a lot of time, especially when people tech grabs, they immediately go into aerial commands.
Right, yeah, because it's hard to like harass your opponent afterwards by like air dashing or whatever, because you can't air dash afterwards. The game just doesn't let you. But yeah, you still have access to those beams and those special moves.
Oh, but with the corner pressure, a lot of supply, and Deku in a pretty good position, besides getting comboed at this point. Still holding on to sparking, but 7 meter.
I don't think this is going to kill quite yet. It'll be the hard knockdown afterwards, so he'll only have to tap him to finish him off, but he will be living. He might just spark right now. Oh, nope, he's going to get punched in the face.
And, I mean, if there's any form of mix-up, why not just do the run-up light?
Yeah, just make sure they sit down. Oh, okay.
And I think 21 Anchor, a very interesting position, especially with a lot of 21 block strings needed rather unsafe compared to a character like Goku. This could be it.
Yeah, that is definitely going to be it. Level 3,
Yeah,
we'll finish it off. Yeah, Deku really should have sparked. There were like 3 situations there where he could have gotten sparked, or he could have sparked before getting hit again, and he would be alive right now if he did. Even if he sparked and then immediately got hit afterwards, he'd still be alive because of regeneration.
Yeah, even on that general setup, getting Dragon Rushed, I mean, with the survivability, a lot of people in the Denton scene just yell out, never sparking. Just,
yeah, it's bad.
It's so unfortunate because you want to... Yeah, Wood Grain with the first game. And this is where we see that prolonged knockdown from Bardock.
Yep, get the Dragon Rush opener.
Yeah.
Not gonna finish him yet.
With the 2-3-6 being able to get some form of overhead, or on taller characters getting fuzzies, but with Goku, I mean, still supplying such pressure.
Yeah. Woodgrain gonna erase that first character. Deku's in a pretty rough spot now. Like, I feel like whenever that happens, whenever you just lose a character immediately, things become really, really difficult because you can't just like you can't touch the other character once and kill them. It's going to be at least twice, even if he has lots of bar.
Exactly. Because you don't have assists.
Exactly.
Or the added assist to continuation of combos.
Yeah, there's an 8-second cooldown on assists whenever you use them, so only being able to use Goku Beam every 8 seconds, and that's it, is a lot less pressure than being able to mix in literally anything else. If you can just like put the worst assist in the game, just put people out there, get hitboxes going. Like,
and this is it. This is the level 1, the added assist, going to DHC level 3.
I don't think level 3 was necessary, but I can respect making sure.
Yeah. I mean,
erase him, yeah.
I definitely would. I do respect the DHC level 3 because at that certain point, if you're going to have the lead, which you are with Woodgrain, why not?
Yeah,
at that point?
Why not? I mean, he's got plenty of time. He's got full 3 characters and sparking, so it's not like he's not going to be able to build more bar back.
Yeah, and he's just stagger pressure, but calling out the IAD.
Yeah, and he missed the IAD too. Just getting the super jump forward instead. Hello, wake up 2H. We just swinging hands out here. What's Oki?
Yeah, who needs that pressure? Especially when you're going to go for immediate tag. Yeah. It still takes away a lot of time for you to set up Oki. Oh, we see the half circle.
Yep. Tagging out to the Bardock level 3. Gonna get pressure now.
And sparking, yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Oh, but don't
with 6 meter, this is a lot of pressure for Deku to handle, especially with Bardock still on point.
Yep, actually, the fun part about Dragon Rush is that you cannot Dragon Rush people that are already in Blockstone.
He was going for the flashy stuff, just trying to go for the hold sparking.
Sometimes it's not worth it to go for the flashy stuff. You're not going to land it. Just do the simple thing. Touch them. Killing them in 3 touches is the most important part. If you can push it to 2, great. But I mean, as long as you're doing 30% of their health.
Yeah, and I like it. Seeing the 2-3-6.
Oh, what's the super?
Yeah, seeing the 2-3-6, forcing the air-to-air just to restore back to neutral, but still very sticky situation, even with 7 bar.
Yeah, gonna be able to vanish, get some damage off the Kamehameha, but nothing too crazy.
Yeah, we see prolonged knockdown.
Oh, okay.
Putting himself in the corner.
Yeah, trying to chase the up back tech look like. But yeah, that's a tricky thing you can do with Vegeta. It's actually kind of cheap with the Gohan and adult Gohan as well. You can do DP and call an assist at the same time. So if they were like pressing buttons, they get DP'd. If they weren't pressing buttons, your assist comes in and puts them in blocks down and you're safe. It's a very tricky thing to punish, and it's just a little bit cheap.
Yeah, just
that dash of cheapness.
Just a skosh.
Yeah.
And we're seeing a lot of regret coming out from Deku's side, especially having the momentum from game 1, and then just it seems like he just blew it.
And that's what we saw earlier on stream with Rex. I mean, it makes sense because he seems like a really, really good player. And this is the sort of game where like the way that you can play is so wide and varied because there's so many different tools you can use in the game, just in the base game. Like ignore the characters for a second. And some of the characters are crazy stuff too. There's so many base things you can do in the game that sometimes you gotta just like, okay, I'm gonna like, let's feel you out and get a feel for you. It's like, okay, now I understand all the things you do, and now it's time to go in as Bardock.
Yeah, and we saw him doing exactly that, just learning the characteristics of Deku. We saw him get hit by Tick Throw like 4 or 5 times. It was IAD heavy into light and then just into Dragon Rush.
Yeah, Dragon Rush is really tricky to tech. It looks like it shouldn't be because it takes like half a year, like about half a year to start up and actually grab you. But that's one of the reasons why it's tricky is because if you're in block stun beforehand, you can't tech until it actually starts grabbing you.
Yeah, and that's that famous